I'm supposed to go on a stage pretty soon, and I'm really wondering, what is my presentation style? How do we figure out how our presentation styles are?
Boy, that's a great question. And guess what? It's pretty innate in how we want to speak. It's actually very much like how we speak around the dinner table or when we're talking with friends out at lunch. Finding our style has a lot to do with how we like to communicate and how we like to receive information. There's actually 5 different styles, at least 5 different styles. I'm going to talk to you about 3 today. And a couple things I want you to think about. If you're going on stage, Alex, chances are you've already done a little bit of homework. I hope you've done some homework. One is you want to know your intention, meaning what do you want to drive home? What do you want them to walk away with? Do you want them to just feel good? Do you want them to be motivated and increase morale? You want to feel more connected? Do you want them to understand something? Are you convincing them to change their view? Are you wanting them to help them with problem solving? So what is your intention of your presentation is first? And some of that has to do with what your style is. Second of all is knowing your audience. Are you dealing with a high level? Are you dealing with industry leaders? Are you dealing with high school athletes? Are you dealing with HR professionals? Are you dealing with finance managers who are stuck? Who's your audience? And those 2 components have a lot to do with the type of presentation you're going to give. Now, I'm going to talk about the type of presentations, 3 of them. But we can change our style. Our style is the energy, the foundational piece underneath it. So let me give you an example. The first style I want to talk about is the motivator or the storyteller. We have some great orators around us that are fabulous in this. There's a lot of people on TED Talks that fit in this. Brene Brown is one example of somebody who's really, really powerful and dynamic in it. One thing that I see that she does is that in her motivating storyteller, she makes a point and then she tells a story. And the story is uplifting. The story makes us feel. The story makes us think or consider something new. But guess what? Most stand-up comedians are also motivator or storytellers. So I'm thinking of Dave Chappelle, who's one of my favorite comedians. He is a genius and dropping a little piece of information, telling a story, you laugh, 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 laugh. The piece of information shows up again. The story weaves all the way through. Often he ends with something totally of a surprise, but he's a storyteller. So those of us that are funny, those of us who love telling stories, and some of us do, and some of us love engaging with people and see them being lifted, inspired, moved, more curious. That might be a hint of your style. Another style is the informative presenter. This is the part of us that loves to be able to use facts, data, research, and experience to be able to put things together in a logical way to move an audience to see something. This is the style that is really good when you're wanting the audience to solve together or problem solve as a result of what's being said. So I'm thinking of Simon Sinek, Seth Godin, that spell things out clearly. Here's the problem or the challenge. Here's the solution, and here's the benefits. That's a very common way to put it together. And people who are logical thinkers, people who can take a lot of information and weave it down or funnel it down to some key salient points, often make really good informative presenters. And in this one, it's really great in proposing a solution or proposing a change that you're really wanting people to get on board with. It's a great style.
I've noticed from those 2 guys, especially, they do that, but they don't go into deep storytelling, but they give out good examples to illustrate their data and their ideas.
I call them slice of life, like everyday kinds of things that everybody can relate to. It's relatable. Here's something, it's relatable. Here's the solution. It makes it easier for us to get on board. And then the third one I want to talk to you about is the visionary. The visionary is someone who has a clear view of the future, and it may be different than most everybody has. Not everybody is a visionary thinker, but the people who are see through the mountain range and maybe to the next mountain range, maybe to the next mountain range, where others are looking at the mud or the bush right in front. They're way out there. And people who are visionary have a brain that allows them to do that. Or they do enough research that builds, if this is where we're going, this is where I sense, this is the indicator. And often they're bold. They're bold in what their message is. And they're wanting to inspire change. They're wanting to inspire hope. They're trying to get people on board. So if you look back in time, there was a time when everybody thought the world was flat. And that if we sailed too far out into the ocean, you'd fall off the edge of the earth. Well, even though everything around us was round, and finally when science says, our planet is round, there were still some people that didn't get on board. But that is a total change in vision. Round world changes the world. Now, That's what a visionary can do. And the visionaries in companies that are leading our way now in high tech, in products we never thought we needed before, in the way we conduct business, even as a result of the pandemic, all of those things are often moved forward with great visionaries. So that could be another approach and style to selling your idea, getting your audience on board, and motivating people to look at change, innovation, or a new perspective as they look at the future.
I think I know what my style is now. But I'm very excited. I'm very energized.
Thank you, Alex.
That's all.
Oh, that's a great end.